Leaders are the focal point tonight when it comes to abortion initiatives on the November ballot. There are two competing abortion issues going before voters this election.
And Nebraska is the only state to have this since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Our Bella Caracta continues our Decision 2024 coverage live in the studio.
John Aaron, the ballot has one measure which protects the right to abortion until fetal viability. Then there's one that mirrors the current law of a 12-week ban with exceptions and writes it into the Constitution. Anti-abortion rights measures are often championed by faith-based groups, but several in Omaha are pushing for the opposite.
So as a Christian and as a pastor,
as a rabbi of Temple Israel,
I'm also a United Methodist pastor.
I'm the founding pastor,
Bishop and senior pastor of Mount Calvary Community Church.
I am a new church developer,
The pastor of Clare Memorial United Methodist Church.
Abortion rights is divisive, but these church leaders can agree. They're against Initiative 434, Protect Women and Children.
this ballot measure disrespects the fundamental freedoms we are entitled to as children of God, the very liberties that my religious ancestors fought and died for.
Maybe for different reasons.
a fetus represents potential life and cannot and must not supersede the life of a pregnant person. Jewish people will continue to be unable to freely exercise our religious beliefs.
They are in favor of Initiative 439, Protect the Right to Abortion. But these churchgoers aren't the only ones showing out, with anti-abortion rights supporters lined along Dodge Street.
It doesn't take any particular religious view or no religious view. It's common sense that Initiative 439 is extreme. It's going to hurt women. It's going to hurt babies in our state. So anybody can oppose it, whether you're a person of faith, whether you're not a person of faith.
And Nebraska joins 9 other states with abortion access on the 2024 ballot. On your side in the studio, Bella Caracta, 6 News.